Hello, hello, hello. It's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. I'm so happy that you're joining me. It is Thursday, October 26th. Thank you, Jimmy. And I've got some fun cards to make today. I'm so glad that you are here. It looks like the comments are cooperating and I can see your chat on... No. I could for a second and then I hit the comment button and now it's all jumbled again. We had this problem on Tuesday during our swap video and I wasn't able to see it. Maybe when they pop up. I'm going to try something. I'm going to try to leave a comment. Live chat. See if I can. Oh. We'll see. We'll see how it goes tonight. And I'm sorry in advance if they end up being jumbled. I got to look into that. All right. I have 3 cards to make today. I'm doing some catch up because I'm a little bit behind. That's just kind of a perpetual state for me. Comment, give me a thumbs up if you feel the same way. I just feel like I'm always trying to catch up. And it is no different right now. I have some cards I need to catch up on, some team packages I need to catch up on, some door prizes I need to send out, some welcome packages for new team members. Just all kinds of stuff that I need to send. And so 2 of the cards that we're making tonight, I'll get to those, are cards I needed to design for team packages. But this one is just a bonus one just for fun. Now, I think it was late last week, the All About Autumn designer paper came back in stock. This one has been so popular. It has barely been in stock. I mean, seriously, just a couple days. All About Autumn. I double checked before the video and it is low inventory. So if you've been looking for this one, 162, 178, do not wait. Go to the online store right now while you're watching, like, because I don't know if they're going to restock it. They've restocked a couple times and this might be it. This is a beautiful 6x6 designer paper that has 4 sheets each of 12 different patterns. One side are these gorgeous photographic images of kind of, I guess, some office space with the books and leather, and then also some fall stuff. And oh my heavens, it is just so gorgeous and embraces everything that I love about fall. Oh, you can make some beautiful cards. I just realized I'm missing one for the mail call. I'm gonna have to go get it. On the opposite side of the photo side, it sounded like a die. On the opposite side is a single color with they're not all single color, mostly single color with copper foil patterns. Oh my gosh, these are so versatile on this side. So very elegant, very beautiful specialty paper. And I'm just not sure what's going to happen after we run out of inventory again. That might be it. So if you are watching this, you make sure you go get it in the online store tonight so you don't miss out. I was going to do all 3 projects with the All About Autumn designer paper. And then when I saw that it was low inventory, I thought, okay, we'll make one, and then we're going to do some other stuff for the other projects. So I've got some things pre-cut, some elements here. I don't know. I was just kind of playing around with a fun layout. And so I got Mossy Meadow for the card base. The designer paper is 3 inches by 4 inches. And then I have a piece of embossed cardstock. I just used the distressed tile embossing folder to do this one. And this color is Moody Mauve, which if you look really closely at the designer paper, there are some Moody Mauve dots in there. So that's where I picked up that color. Although I think you could with the copper, I think you could use like copper clay and it would probably look good too. In fact, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we use copper clay instead of Moody Mauve? Let me get the copper clay and show you. I just realized I'm not going to be able to see your comments. So I'm just going to make an executive decision. We're going to go with the copper clay. Even though if you zoom in, it is Moody Mauve, we're going to use copper clay because I think it's close enough. So I'm going to cut this again. I'm pretty sure I did 2 inches, 2 by 3. So we're going to do 2 by 3. And then I'm going to run it through with the embossing folder. So this is copper clay, which is an in color. It's in the same in color family as the Moody Mauve, just a different different color. I really love these ink colors. I think they are like love it or hate it. Some of you love them, some of you are, especially that Wild Wheat color, but hopefully it's grown on you. I really like it. Okay, really quick on the floor, there is our copper clay, and like I said, I don't really think you can tell the difference. So I think I like the way the copper clay looks better than the Moody Mauve, so we're going to change our mind, as we have every right to do. Also, I think it brings in a little bit of this copper. This is the oxidized copper paper, and it has two different colors. It has like the pretty peacock and then like the copper on copper. And so that's the pattern I'm using. We're going to die cut the detail for this leaf out of that one. And then we're going to stamp, we're going to stamp the leaf in Mossy Meadow. I meant to cut one for the inside, because it's always good to stamp an inside for your card. So let's just do that really quick. I'm going 4 inches by 5 1/4 for the inside. And we'll come up with some words or leaves or something to put inside. So on the front, I've got a little piece. Actually, you know, I think the dies, isn't there? Yeah, like a little, that's really little though. Maybe not. We're going to stick with this. And I have extra pieces from previous projects that I have in here. It's always fun to do that, right? Then you can like layer extra leaves. I don't think I'm going to use those today. All right, so what are our choices for the little words? For all you do today and every day, and to have you as a friend. I think I'm going to use for all you do. That is little, isn't it? I always kind of feel like cards are naked without words in the front. So this is like just enough word. So for all you do, and then on the inside, it'll say, where's the oh, here it is. I just grabbed the wrong one. On the inside, we'll say, I'm thankful. So it's kind of backwards syntax, but it still works. For all you do, I'm thankful. And then, yeah, I think that's it. So for the leaf, we're going to use Mossy Meadow. For the words, we're going to use some, let's use some Pretty Peacock. Okay, Mossy Meadow first. This is really fun, this leaf, because it has like kind of this built-in texture. It's all part of the stamp where it does some of it shaded and some of it dark. And I think that is just brilliant. So we're going to do that leaf, and then we'll switch to the Pretty Peacock. Oh, and we'll do, oh, that is little. We're going to go with it. We're going to see how it works out for all you do. On the inside, I'm thankful. And how about a leaf on the bottom of the inside? Oh, that doesn't look like it inked very well. I'll try again. Okay, now it's time for some die cutting. A lot of the dies in this set will fit into the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and that fits well on my desk, so that's what I got out to use. Welcome to the table, Lucy. Lucy is my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I mostly use her for videos, but I do love that she's handy and portable, so if I'm going to stamp with somebody at their house, or if I'm going somewhere and I want to take crafting with me, the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine really makes that possible. So this is perfect for crafters who are just getting started with die cutting, because most of our dies do fit inside the mini machine. But if you are really hardcore, then I would suggest the regular size Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And really, unless you are taking your mini machine or need a small one, you don't necessarily need them both. So if you have the big one, you're probably good. But the little one is good and convenient for those who don't. Sometimes these get stuck in there. And you can either poke through those holes or I just toss it down on the table and that will loosen it right up. We're going to use just a little bit of the liquid glue to glue that down. And I don't want to lose my dies, so they're going right back inside my envelope here so that I have them for the next project. Oh my gosh, how many of you have ever lost a die? Oh, once you do, you will make sure that you don't lose any more. It's such a sad thing. Okay, our card is coming together so quickly. I guess that helps when you have everything pre-cut, doesn't it? We're going to, where's our glue? Right here. And the liquid glue. Let's do that next. Sometimes with the liquid glue, I use my silicone mat, and sometimes I'm lazy and I just get out my Stampin' dimensional sheet and use the empty space inside to protect my work surface, because this is such a tiny little die cut. I don't need a whole lot of glue, probably using too much. So I'm just going to try to strategically have some dabs of glue, spread it really thin. And since I'm on my Stampin' dimensional sheet, it doesn't really matter if I go over because it's going to dry and it won't get sticky on my work surface. Turn that over, put it in place, and it kind of lines right up with that empty space in the die, so we know exactly where to put it. I love that little bit. Oh my gosh, I'm such a mess. How am I so messy? Oh my gosh, I just got started. Oh, I usually have sanitizer. I'm just going to wipe it on my shirt. Sanitizer is really good to have on your stamp table for ink because it takes it off your fingers usually pretty well. Okay, let's get this glued down. I'm going to add the designer paper. Again, this is 3x4. I'll put the measurements in the video description for you. I'm going to add it over here in the bottom right corner of my card front, Mossy Meadow. Then I'm going to add some of that copper clay embossed cardstock. I'm going to go all the way to the edge of the card here on the right side. And then my strip of designer paper is 3/4 inch by 3.5. I'm also going to go all the way to the edge, overlapping a little bit. We've got our sentiment, and I think I want this to go on with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to use a couple Stampin' Dimensionals under this piece. For all you do. And if you wanted to, you could add, let's do that. You could add a little decorative banner on one end. So I'm just going to do a little cut. Perfect. And then our leaf is going to go on with some Stampin' Dimensionals as well. And since there's already a dimensional here, I'm going to try to strategically place my other ones above and below so I don't double up on the dimension. For all you do, you certainly could add more leaves to this or a little bit of ribbon. I am going to bring in some of the bling. And I know a lot of the bling from the mini catalog is currently unavailable. It is scheduled to be back in stock in the next couple weeks. And I'm sure there's dots that go with this one, but I'm just going to bring in something else. Like we've got, these are actually unavailable too right now. The neutral adhesive sequins, those are a good choice because they have copper in them. Here's the ones that are a part of this suite. They're really beautiful. We have, the ones I was thinking of were just some rustic, what are they called? Rustic dots. I think those are nice too. I'm actually going to go with the sequins, and they might not be available right now, but they're good to add to your next order when they are back in stock if they're currently gone, because it's got kind of all the basics. Some gold, some silver, some copper, and then like some early espresso kind of color. Oh yeah, this is just so perfect just to add a little bit of bling. And then one right down here. 1, 2, 3. Got our odd number in there. Oh my gosh. Do you just love it? This All About Autumn paper is my favorite, and I have been waiting to show a lot of cards with it. I haven't used it at all because it's been gone, and so I've got some samples to share with you to inspire you if you were able to get a pack or if you're going to get one. Here's the first one. I did this one in a Sunday stamping video, and it is a vertical easel card, so it kind of sits up like that, and it has these little alligator flaps so that it kind of floats like that. Isn't that fun? I just love that. I love the stamp set as much as the designer paper. So even if you don't get the designer paper, I think it's just a fun set of leaf stamps. This is a swap card from Erin Scott from our 1-for-1 card swap for our team. And then here's another one that I made in a Thursday night stamp therapy video using the gold foil note cards. So these are cards and envelopes that have that gold foil on it already. And then I just added some kind of simple stamping. Here's another one that I did with garden green and pretty peacock, a little bit of that ribbon frayed at the ends. Another one with some pretty peacock and the oxidized copper leaves. And then finally one that has a little bit of the designer paper on the side and some stamped leaves. I am thankful. I believe that copper ribbon is due back in stock November 13th, if I remember right, although it could be next week. There's a bunch of stuff coming next week and then a bunch of stuff coming November 13th, and I'm getting them all mixed up. Okay, hopefully you feel inspired whether you get this amazing designer paper or not. These card layouts and ideas I think are so fun to use for any occasion and with any stamp set. But we are going to move right along and make another card. Like I said, tonight I really am working on some catch up. I need to take care of making some cards. Let's see, we're going to do fireworks first. Taking care of some cards for packages that I need to send to my team members. And one of the fun packages that I do every month is for my team members who are my top sellers. And so this is a card I'm making to send to the top sellers from last month, I think. And I am using a new stamp set that I got to send to all of them. And it is called Light the Sky. It actually has dies that go with it, and I swear I bought them, but I can't find them. How often does that happen to you? Here it is in the catalog. I'm going to show you. It's on page 58 of the Stampin' Up! September through December mini catalog. And on page 58, you can see the dies down here. They're kind of fun because we've got these sort of firework die cuts that are that aren't like all the way around. It just die cuts the paper. And so then you could put something like foil paper or something glitter paper behind it and really kind of get a fun vibe. So I've got to find my dies or go ahead and buy them. That happened to me the other day. I thought I ordered a bundle with a punch and I didn't. I only ordered the stamp set. So I got to look at that and see. These dies are really cool. This is called Light the Sky. And so because I don't have the dies, I'm going to kind of keep it somewhat clean and simple. I wanted to use some of this really fun glitter paper. This is a new thing that's coming in November, and there are 3 different colors in the glitter paper pack. It is one of the online exclusives, and demonstrators can pre-order right now. This is a 12 by 12 glitter paper pack. It has Pretty Peacock, Highland Heather, and Petal Pink. How fun is that? It coordinates really well with the Meandering Meadow Suite, and you'll have to tune in on Sunday because Mom and I are sharing some fun cards with the glitter paper and the Meandering Meadow Suite. This is item number 162813. It's available right now for demonstrators or new demonstrators to get in their starter kit, and everybody else will be able to order starting November 7th. So stay tuned for that. So I decided I wanted to use the Pretty Peacock piece, and I was trying to decide on colors to put with Pretty Peacock. So I turned to our color coach. This is a resource that Stampin' Up! Has put out, and I linked it up not only in the video description, but also in the live chat. It should be a pinned comment there. So if you haven't already, check it out. You can download this and print it out. I think it's 10 pages, and it is designed so that you can cut apart the cards and create like a little resource ring where you can keep them all together. I just stapled the pages together so that I could just use them as as full pages. So they are organized by color. So we've got like the reds together and the pinks and the yellow and orange and then the greens. And so I was looking for a color combination using Pretty Peacock. And so I turned here to the Pretty Peacock card and I found these three colors: Pretty Peacock, Calypso Coral, and Petal Pink. And so those are the colors that I decided to use for my card today. And that's where I got the color combinations. So if you're ever feeling stuck and you want to use one color but you're not sure what to put with it, or you just don't know what color to use at all, turn to the color coach and use that as inspiration to help you find just the right colors for your project. So Pretty Peacock, Calypso Coral, and Petal Pink are the colors that I'm using. And the card that I am using, the layout is one that I challenged my team to do. So every month we have a creative challenge. Actually, twice a month we have a creative challenge where I share a card layout and I challenge my team to make a card using that layout. Then at our monthly team meeting, I draw one winner of someone who participated in a creative challenge, and they get a free stamp set. It's so much fun, and I absolutely love to see what everyone does with the card layouts. The other thing that my team gets, they all get the back pocket card layouts. So sometimes our card layout challenge is one of these layouts, and sometimes they're not one of the layouts, but this is something that all of my team will get from me. In fact, just this week, I sent out 125 or 130 envelopes to every demonstrator on my team who's currently active. They got all of the back pocket card layouts that I sent out this last quarter. So if you're a Jubilant Stamper, watch your mailbox. I'm hearing that Happy Mail is arriving, and new demonstrators are getting a set of these cards as well. So if you join my team, you'll just get started right away with several cards, and then you'll get a chance to continue to get those cards every single quarter. So I just love that resource, and I love our creative challenges. So this is the card layout for one of our challenges this month. I've got Calypso Coral for the card base. My glitter paper is 2 inches by 5 inches. I have a piece of white cardstock that is 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches. And then another piece of Petal Pink cardstock, which is 5/8 inch by 2 1/4, I think. And we're going to do some stamping. So I have a whole stack here because I need to send a whole bunch of those cards. So I decided I'm just going to do all my stamping tonight during our video. I'll put together one card so you can see, and then tomorrow morning I'll have all my pieces ready to go so that I can just keep stamping, or put them all together, I mean, and get those packages sent out, because that's what I really need to do. So I'm going to start with the lighter color. Usually when I'm using stamps, I'd like to start with the lightest color first. And so in this case, that's Petal Pink. And I'm going to stamp up here on one edge, kind of leaving some room toward the bottom for the other two colors. And like I said, I'm just going to go and do all of them. I think I need 8 of them. Or 7 or so. I did one early, so it might be 7 now. I'm going to stamp until the pile is gone. This is something when I do need to make a lot of cards that I like to do everything sort of assembly line, where I do all the stamping of one piece and one color, and then I'll do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing until I get them all done. I'm going to go ahead and do some stamping since we got the color out. I'm going to do some stamping. I'm gonna go high. I'm gonna do some stamping for the inside piece as well, and I'm just gonna use the same colors and the same stamps to just keep that design going on the inside. So this is Petal Pink, and then I'll add the other 2 colors as well. This is such a fun set with the fireworks. It's not only for New Year's, because there is a New Year greeting in here, but I think it's also so perfect for the 4th of July or for weddings. Anytime that you have a fun celebration and would have fireworks, I think this is just such a great set, and just something so unique and different. I'm going to go back now with the Calypso Coral, moving to our focal pieces. And I'm going to go in the middle, off the side. When was the last time that you guys saw fireworks? for me, it was definitely the 4th of July. We were traveling with the family, and two of the girls didn't want to go to the fireworks because they just didn't like loud noises and they didn't want to deal with the crowds. And so I stayed home with them, and Jim took the other kids out to see the fireworks. And would you know it, the house that we rented right next door, the neighbor was lighting off so many fireworks just over and over again. And I think we had more noise than the crowd who went to see the fireworks, the big citywide display. So it was kind of unfortunate, but we made the most of it and put headphones on and tried to drown out the loud firework noise. All right, we're going now with the, I just love that. The Pretty Peacock. Pretty Peacock is one of my favorite colors. I think I say that every time I get it out now, but gosh, it's true. I just think it goes with so much. In fact, we just used it on the last card, and here we are using it again. Okay, so we got all our inside pieces ready, and I am transferring ink. I saw one spot. I'm trying to ignore it though. All right, to finish off our card, I'm going down here, kind of making a triangle with my fireworks. I am finishing this off in the lower left corner. You didn't know we were going to do speed stamping tonight, did you? Oh, that looks great. While we have the Pretty Peacock out, we're going to do our sentiment. And for this one, I chose Let's Celebrate. I think this is such a great one for all of my top team members who had great sales. And so Let's Celebrate is perfect. So this is going to go in Pretty Peacock ink on the Petal pink cardstock. And if you are one of those top sales achievers, I'm sorry that I'm spoiling your card. I just keep putting it off, and so it's just time to just do it. Oh, that one, I knew it. I knew that was going to be off. And I couldn't stop myself. I'm going to flip it over. We'll try again. Okay, looking great. We got all our words. We got our images. We're going to go ahead and put this card together. First, I'm going to clear my space really quick. Okay, move that out of the way. Now, I told you I promised I wouldn't put them all together on camera. I'm not going to make you watch me do all of the gluing, but we are going to do one of each piece and put one card together. And my other ones will be ready for tomorrow. So let's just stick them over here. And find our adhesive and some Stampin' Dimensionals. Let's get this card together. You know, I just messed up. I just realized that all my insides are vertical, but I intended for the card to be horizontal. So I could either put it in and cut it. I don't know if it makes sense to be sideways. How about, what if we try to change the card and make it vertical? Let's see how that would work. This is not what I intended. So the original layout is this. We've got that piece in the center, and then over on the left side, and the Let's Celebrate down here. Oh, smudgy smudge. Where's that coming from? All of my fingers. Okay, I have an easy solution for that, but oh my gosh, I'm going to have to... Oh, I wish I had somebody down here. I could make them get me some sanitizer. We'll be okay. I'm still thinking. I might just have to re-stamp all of those tomorrow and make it be the right direction. For now, though, I'm going to show you how we make do. We have two sides of every paper, so I think turning it around is the best solution. And that's probably what I will do for the other ones. But for tonight, I'm just going to cut this down to 4 1/4. And then I'm going to put it, this is now going to be the inside of the card so I can cover up that inky mistake. And see, perfect. And so this is going to go right in the center. So instead of going all the way across the card, we'll just have a centerpiece and no one will know that that was never my intention from the beginning. Crisis averted. Okay, we do have a little extra hanging over, not a problem. I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm just going to trim so that it is flat to the front of the card. Okay, now for the front, we're going to have our glitter paper. So beautiful. I believe I have the item number for this glitter paper in the video description right now. And I don't know if I said it, but it comes in a 12 by 12 pack. So you get 2 sheets each of the 3 different colors: Pretty Peacock, Petal Pink, and Highland Heather. And although it's not part of the suite, it does match and coordinate very well with the Meandering Meadow. This is going to go on the left side using Stampin' Dimensionals. And then I'm going to be strategic again about where I'm putting the dimensionals because part of it's going to overlap with the cardstock. So that's going to have just the regular adhesive. Let's celebrate. We definitely need some bling on this card, so I'm going to get out some of my favorites. These are adhesive back sequin trios, and it comes with pink, Pretty Peacock, and white. Oh, gorgeous. I have a thing for these flat sequins because I think they just nail really easy. I was trying to figure out what color. I'm going to say that's probably like Flirty Flamingo. And I am going to add 3. And we'll do the Pretty Peacock to kind of bring that color back in. And so there is our finished card with the Light the Sky stamp set. And like I said, I really wish I'd gotten the coordinating dies because I think you could have something really beautiful with the die cuts and kind of add another layer where that's peeking through. And that would be really pretty to put under the glitter paper, I think. All right, guys, there's card number 2. And I don't, unfortunately, have other samples using this. I don't have other samples using this stamp set. It really wasn't a very popular one in the mini catalog, but you can get this in the green mini catalog, the September through December. And I highly recommend those coordinating dies. I swear I've got them. I swear it. gotta do a little bit of digging. All right, we've got another project for you. And I meant to share this with this project. There are just a few more days to take advantage of this amazing starter kit special in October. If you join by October 31st as a Stampin' Up! Brand ambassador or demonstrator, aka, you can save 35% on the starter kit, or you can get 35% more product in your starter kit. Either way you slice it, it's an amazing deal. And so if you've been thinking about joining or rejoining as a demonstrator, make sure to check out all the information in the video description and make sure you get your starter kit before Tuesday, October 31st. All right, another card. This one is another bit I've been wanting to work with. I got this Forever Forest stamp set. And I do have the dies, and I've been wanting to use this new bundle for a little while, and so I was looking for something tonight to use with watercolor paper, because that is the product I'm sending my top sales people for this month, and so I am pairing the watercolor paper with the Forever Forest. I'm looking at these dies and gosh, they're really kind of amazing. We have dies not only for the images, but also some detailed tree dies and some rocks and some mountains. Like, I think this is a really cool set. So I'm excited to have this one. This is also from the mini catalog. And let me just pull it up here again. from the September through December 2023 mini catalog. And let's find the page number so I can share with you. On page 20. Yes, this is the reason right there. That's why I bought the bundle. I just thought that was so pretty with the colors and the sponging and the die cuts. And this tree set is a pretty big size. I was actually really surprised by it. Well, I want to use the watercolor paper and the water painters, and so we're going to do a little emboss resist tonight. And I've pre-cut some cardstock and some things to show you. First of all, this is the watercolor paper. It's in the annual catalog, and it is 5 by 7 inches. So I cut it in half and then trimmed it down a little bit. So I've got 2 pieces from one sheet, and they are 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. And this is so perfect for using watercolors. And so we're going to watercolor a little bit after we do some embossing. And then for the sentiment, I'm using this new stamp set called So Sincere. It's got a lot of really great sentiments in it. I like how they're a little bit different, and I think they're just also positive and wonderful ways to say that you're thinking of someone. So we're going to use one of these today. I think the one I picked out was So Proud of You, because I just thought it was so fitting. So I got my trees, I got my navy, I got my water painters, and the other stamps. Oh, here's what I need to talk about, the designer paper. So our card base is going to be a piece of the thick, very vanilla cardstock, and I have a piece of designer paper that's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, so it's going to fit just perfectly on the front of the card and taking up the whole front of the card. I really just kind of wanted to go wall to wall with this pattern. This is a navy and gold pattern that's part of the brightly shining or shining brightly designer paper that is back in stock. This was out for a little while, but now it's back, and it has 3 different patterns, and each pattern is available in navy and vanilla. And so you get 1 sheet each of these 12 by 12 papers with the gold foil. They're so elegant and so beautiful. And so that is the paper that I'm using for my project tonight. The other thing that is back in stock is the glittered organdy ribbon in navy. And I meant to grab that. I'm also missing my circle. There it is. Let me grab that beautiful ribbon. Hold on 1 second. Oh my gosh, isn't it awesome? I'm trying to grab a card. Here it is. That's for that pile. This is over here. Okay, we're back. Navy and gold glittered ribbon. Holy smokes, it is gorgeous. This paper and the ribbon are part of the Oh Holy Night suite, and a lot of that has been back ordered and it's coming back in stock. The hybrid folder right now is, I think, coming back next week. So if you've been waiting for all that stuff, Mom and I have been waiting to share that suite until everything is back. So it's coming. It's coming soon. Okay, we're going to do some embossing and then we're going to do some watercoloring. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to do 2 at once. I know we did that last time. Well, we did 7 at once, but this time we're going to do 2 at once since I've got 2 cut. And I'll do the other ones tomorrow. So we're going to start with our embossing buddy. And this is part of the Embossing Additions Toolkit, which comes with the embossing buddy, a powder tray, the tweezers, a brush, and then the 4th item is this embossing buddy. This is an important step when you're embossing to kind of get all the oils, all the ink, all the extra stuff that could be causing your ink to stick to it off of the cardstock. So I'm using the embossing buddy, and then I'm going to come in with the Versamark ink. This is a watermark stamp pad. It stays wet a little bit longer than regular ink, and so that's why we use it for embossing. So I'm going to ink up my image really good here, and I'm going to stamp See how it takes up almost the whole thing? I'm going to stamp right in the middle. And did it even stamp? I was going to stamp again, but let's test it really quick. I'm going to use some gold embossing powder. Look at how old that jar is. Oh my gosh, I need to get some new embossing powder. I found this one in the depths of my basket, and I have just enough to cover the image here. In fact, I'm going to try to see if I can funnel it back into the jar. Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if the ink got on there, but sure enough, it covered the whole thing. So I am just going to do a little tap tap. You can use your brush to get the extra powder off very gently. Oh man, I said gently and then I got it. I knew I was going to do that. All right, another reason to use the embossing buddy is just to help you get that powder from sticking where you don't want it. And so if you use it, then you'll have fewer spots where that powder is going to stick. Okay, we have the embossing powder on there and we're going to heat it next. But before I do, I'm just going to do one. I'm going to do the other one. We'll just do two at a time. And then we're going to emboss this in gold. And then we're going to come back and we're going to emboss the stars and the moon. We're going to do that in clear. So we're using two colors of embossing powder, and that's honestly something I don't normally do, but we're just going to do one at a time. It's going to be fine. And so next up, we've got the second trees. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I got that all the way. Perfect. I'm feeling like I probably should have done the clear first because now my tray is going to have a little bit of gold in it. And sometimes when I remember, I will use the embossing buddy on my tray before I pour the powder in so that it doesn't stick. The powder doesn't stick into the tray and it comes off a lot easier. So we've got a screw off cap here, and all of that embossing powder just goes right back through the funnel, back into the jar like that. And then we have a little mess here. This is where it comes in handy to have a little desk vacuum. So I'm going to bring mine in. Mom got this for me on Amazon. It's just, if you look up desk vacuum, then you'll find several that look like this. This one's called Tihu, and I'm just going to turn it on and just clean that powder. Boom. I'll go in here too. Okay. Very well. It got most of it. All right, next up, we're going to use the heat tool. So the heat tool is, I'm having a little smeared at the top. All right, the heat tool is going to heat that embossing powder and melt it. Get these out of the way. There we go. If you have a larger piece or you're worried about burning your fingers, you can use the tweezers to hold your cardstock. I said larger, but I meant smaller piece because a smaller piece you wouldn't have as much to hold on to, and so thus it would burn your fingers. It's so fun to watch the embossing powder change because you can see when it does, it gets kind of shiny. Oh, it's like magic! And when you're heating the embossing powder, you only need to heat until it's shiny and melted. You don't need to keep going, and certainly you don't want it to bubble or anything like that. So I'm just going to wave it over the image until the entire thing is looking shiny and embossed. I'm going to bring in my next one. Oh, that smeared a little too. right, I think it's looking good. You can tell my embossing powder is a little bit old. It's shiny in some places and just kind of melted in the middle in other places. Definitely time to upgrade and replace my embossing powder. Okay, next up we're going to do that image. I'm going to use that embossing buddy again. We're going to do the stars and the moon next. And we're going to do this with clear embossing powder. This is just kind of a small image. And I'm going to come over here where there's more space. And this one's going to be a lot harder to see because it is clear. And so, I don't know, you might be able to see like the texture of the embossing powder. You can kind of see it in there. Can you see it? All right, so we're going to do the same thing where we're going to heat it. And I am so messy all the time. All right, so heating with the heat tool one at a time. You might be able to see this a little as it heats because it'll get shiny. You're definitely going to be able to see it when we do our watercolor resist. I think I got it there. Let's do this one now. Although it's harder to see than the gold, you can kind of see like where it's shiny. Okay, our last step on this card, making a big mess, is going to be our watercolor background. So for this, we're going to use the water painter and the Night of Navy ink pad. And there are 3 different watercolor brush tips. We've got kind of a long pointy one, a shorter one, and then this one is kind of a wider flat brush. And so this is what I'm going to use for the wide background here. And I'm going to do some Night of Navy, a little night sky. So I'm pushing on the ink pad to pull the ink in the lid. And then I'm going to take and squeeze a little bit of water. So these water brushes have a reservoir, that's right here, where I filled with water. And then you can screw this on. And so it will just constantly feed the water into the brush. So I'm pushing a little bit here where it says push. And I get that water right there. And so I'm going to kind of add a little water to this. I know it's a dark color, but I'm going for like a night sky. I've got 2 tries. That was the real reason I did 2. And so I'm just going to kind of brush this on. And right away at the top, you can see that moon and the stars resisting the ink. The trees also do resist the ink. And so what we're going to do, I should have grabbed it, is we're going to get a tissue or a cotton ball and rub the ink off of the foil embossing because the foil embossing will resist that ink. This honestly is not the look I was going for to fill the whole thing. So maybe I want to switch brushes and use the other one. Okay, grabbing a quick tissue. I'm just going to come in here and kind of rub. The idea is rubbing the ink off of the foil, the embossing foil where it was sort of the ink was pooling. Oh, so messy. This is kind of what I was going for up here with that. So just kind of a clear emboss resist and then the trees standing out. But my old embossing powder, I think, just isn't doing what I want it to do. So that is disappointing. Let's try a different brush because I don't like the lines on this one. So I'm hoping this one I'll be able to kind of achieve more of the watercolor look that I'm going for. So I think there's just not enough water. What I love about watercolor and watercolor paper like this is it's going to look different every single time you do it. So there's not a wrong way or a right way. Like, this is a different than I wanted, but I think it still is turning out kind of cool in the way that it is bringing the color onto the paper and showing the sort of nighttime sky. Oh, I just messed it up at the top. Ah! All right, I like this one. It's not quite as dark as the first one, but I think it works. And so I'm going to try more of a pounce here just to pick up the extra color that is on, that is pooling on that embossed image. So which one do you like better, this or that? You can tell me, leave a comment. If you wanted to, you can add some more color. So if we liked the brush stroke on this, that we just want more color, we can add more and make it darker. Let's give that a try, because I do kind of like it darker. Or you just layer the color on the color. I like how it's a little bit lighter underneath. Now you guys are going to have to change your answer maybe because I changed this one. I'm having such an issue tonight with this old embossing powder. I don't know how well you can tell, but like the trees just don't stand out the way that I wanted them to. So I really think it's an old embossing powder issue. And I think if I did the same thing with a different color. In fact, maybe let's try that. Maybe let's do like a, what other colors do I have that would work? I was thinking about black, but I really wanted to bring in some of that gold. That's just really... That's sad. I've got some copper, some white. Let's try the white. Let's see how the white works with all of it. We're experimenting. Is this white? That's clear. Hold on. Okay, this is left over from a kit, so I'm going to give this one a go. It's some white embossing powder. And we're just going to cut a new piece of the watercolor paper. We'll come up with something we like. All right, so 3.5 is half of 7, and then I'm just going to cut this to 4 3/4 because that has the right proportion for my card. We're going to do the same embossing technique. We are going to use, where did our embossing buddy go? I just covered it up. We're going to start with the embossing buddy all over. And then we're going to do some stamping with the Versamark. Those out of the way. We are stamping our large trees. And this time I'm going to stamp the trees and I'm going to stamp the stars and the moon all in the same color. So I'm going to stamp them both at the same time and do the embossing powder at the same time. Although I have to say, I cannot see where this is going. We're just going to guess. Okay, next up, we're bringing in our tray, and we're using the white embossing powder. And this is a little different. It's not in a jar. So I'm going to put it on here, and then I am going to leave it in the tray and figure out how I'm going to funnel it back in with a piece of paper or something. Tap, tap, tap. I have a little spot. I don't know how well you can see this. A little spot up here where I pressed the stamp. There we go. Looking good. Our other one, let's get some embossing powder on that. Oh, do you hear my Bella? She's got such a bad cough. That one looks pretty good. I'm going to move this embossing powder. We'll figure that out later. Clean up our mess. Hopefully don't dump it all over everything. And we're going to get out the heat tool once again. And we're going to heat up the whole image. Hopefully this is white and not clear. I just want something that's going to be a little bit more opaque. Oh yeah, that looks like it's white. And it's hard to see because it is white. But you can see the powder turn from like sort of a gray to a shiny. It's really subtle. And I have to say, I've not done embossing powder on the watercolor paper. So it's possible that the texture that we're getting is from the paper and not necessarily the embossing powder. So I should run a test and see what it's like on regular cardstock as well. But this might be enough tests for tonight. I'm gonna keep you guys all night making the same card. That won't be fun. Switching fingers. Okay. It doesn't look like much, but once we add the color, I think it will all come together. I hope. Okay. Getting out our water painters and our navy. We've got a pool of blue here. Let's bring in this gorgeous blue. There we go. There we go. Oh, yes. This is looking good. If you're doing a lot of cards, the other thing you could do is inside your water painter, you could put your re-inker so that the color is already in there with the water. We're seeing a lot of the lighter color come through. It's almost like some pink and some purple that are part of the navy once you kind of break down that formula of the ink. And so we're going to take the tissue and just kind of pounce over the trees, just trying to pick up the color that might be pooling on the embossed image. And so we get these trees. Look at these trees that kind of stamp out. I like it. I'm not sure how much I like it on the navy. I almost feel like we need to just change colors of designer paper, but I think for now this is going to work out okay. We are going to finish off our card with a little bit of stamping for our sentiment. So I picked out the So Very Proud of You. Again, this is from the So Sincere stamp set. And we are going to add this to our card base. Oh, I love this. With a little bit of ribbon underneath. And so let's do that with some tear and tape. Hold that ribbon in place. And then we'll add the circle onto the card with Stampin' Dimensionals. Let's make sure we're getting this the right direction. I was thinking about adding sequins or something, but I don't know. This ribbon with the gold sequins glitter, the gold glitter already built in, it kind of feels like there's already enough bling, don't you think? Let's add this on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Ideally, you probably want to wait for this paper to dry a little bit more before you put it on the card. But for tonight, I think it'll be okay. It's almost dry. And then we're going to add this on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Oh, we do need some bling. Who are we kidding? I thought we could do okay without it, but I don't think so. Move some of these out of the way. I'm going to bring out that bling that we used already because it has some gold in it. Kind of use those to bring the gold back in. You know you've had a good night when you've got inky fingers. Right? Oh my gosh. It definitely was a good night tonight. We had so much fun. We made 3 different cards tonight. If you're just tuning in, you'll have to watch the replay and catch up. We started with the autumn leaves, and we made an autumn card. And then we made a card with the light up the sky. I love this, with the pretty peacock. And we ended with a little technique doing some emboss resist with the watercolor paper, a little embossing with that Forever Forest stamp set. Oh my gosh, I love them all. I can't decide. You tell me. Leave a comment and let me know which of these cards is your favorite. Which one, maybe more importantly, which one would you do at home? Are you inspired to create any of these cards, either using some of the same items or whatever you have at home? Leave a comment and let me know. I'll go back and look. I know I can't see the comments right now. It's making me so sad. Hopefully we'll get this figured out with YouTube. Now, I'm giving you a heads up right now. These aren't the projects that I wanted to share with you tonight. I had intended to share the October bonus project kit, but I had just one of those days and I didn't get the cards designed. So I'm hoping I can get the cards designed tomorrow and share a bonus video with you tomorrow night, sharing with you those October bonus projects that are going to be in the project kit that I send out. So stay tuned. I don't want to promise anything, but there might be a video Friday night. So watch for that over on the YouTube channel. But before I let you go, I have some happy mail. I wanted to share with you some extra cards that I got during the Great Big Card Swap, and then just also some other cards I got in the mail. So this one actually goes with the Great Big Card Swap. Okay, I'm going to start with the Halloween card from Trina Hilligoss. Isn't this gorgeous? This is combining 2 stamp sets. Or 2 things. We got the Halloween stamp set from last year, and then the Grassy Grove die with the trees. Oh, I just love that. And then the gold, she did that either with a water painter or some sponging or brayering. It is so beautiful, like a little sunset with your trick-or-treaters in the background. I just love it, Trina. Thank you so much for sending this Halloween card. I also got a fun card in the mail from Tammy Sipula using the Modern Garden designer paper, Garden Walk designer paper, and then little card, big thanks. Oh, I love that stamp. That's from an older set. I can picture it. It has flowers and oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of it. That was a good one. Thank you so much, Tammy, for your awesome thank you card. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the project kit and the big pocket, the back pocket card layout. Our next card is from Beth Koheiser, who used this All About Autumn designer paper with the copper foil. I love this fun layout using the new Heartfelt Hexagon stamp around the edge and the new Heartfelt Hexagon punch. Loving those. Those are available right now in the online store. Thank you, Beth, for this beautiful card. I am beyond grateful for your friendship. The next one is a 2-parter. This is from Carol Rosenboom from Canada. Carol, oh my gosh, thank you so much for this awesome card. You are amazing. She made a little notebook for me. She said she was making up some other notebooks, and it has a pocket in the front and a little, I thought this was really clever to have a little notepad, like a little sleeve for that notepad. So when this one is all used up, you can slide another notepad right in the place. So such a great little notepad cover. Thank you so much, Carol. For that, let me see. She said the notepads she made for the community center, and she came home and made a Christmas version for her host and then one for me too. So thank you so much, Carol. I just love that so much. It was such a fun surprise to get that in the mail. The other cards are all extra cards that I received during the Great Big Card Swap. If you missed it, make sure to check out Tuesday's video. I shared 50 thank you cards from all of you, and you, as always, hit it out of the park with your amazingness. Starting with this card from Linda Adams, she wrote this poem that she printed on the card. I dance along the autumn trail, colors flying in my wake, yellow, orange, crimson, green, golden embers carried along on the glorious breath of God. I love that. We've got the All About Autumn designer paper, and then some die cuts from the Chic dies. No, she said, she gave me a note, and I don't think it was the Chic. I think it was the season dies. Oh, I'm gonna mess it up. Anyway, beautiful leaf dies. I just love that. So gorgeous. This looks like it was sponged and colored special for the card. Beautiful, Linda. Oh my gosh. I've got to send you a note too about that poem because someone was asking me about it. Our next one is from Marie Ferrito, a little 3x3 little love note. I thought this was just so sweet with the hearts punched out on the embossing folder. Just love it. Thank you so much. This one is from Judy Howard using the autumn leaf dies that we used tonight. And the simple thank you. I love that with the deckled edge, Judy's trademark. Such a simple and sweet card. Next up from Sharon Groves, I love this with the little tags that you can pull out and write as you reflect this fall on what you are grateful, thankful, and blessed for. I am definitely giving thanks for your friendship, Sharon. Thank you so much for this awesome card. And on the inside, she has a little verse as well. Grateful, thankful, blessed. To have a heart that's grateful means taking time to say all the ways you're thankful in your life today. For even when your days are hard, you have trained your heart to see all the ways your life is blessed and the blessings yet to be. Be grateful, be thankful, and be blessed, by Sharon Groves. I love that. Our next card is from Carolyn. Oh, nope. I picked up two. Ross and Muncie. I love this little teacup and the beautiful bouquet of flowers inside. Such a sweet card and such a beautiful arrangement. I love fresh cut flowers, and usually I have a few more than what will fit in a teacup, but it reminds me of when Anna brings in a little flower that she picked from the grass or wherever, and she puts it just in a little glass, little container. Such a sweet idea and a sweet thought. Thank you so much for sending that awesome card and an extra for me. This one is from Carolyn Oppenheimer, who is a new swapper, a first-time swapper. Carolyn, thank you so much for sending an extra of me. Such a sweet card with a stencil, sponge stencil background here, and the sweet little die-cut flowers. Oh, I love that on the inside too. Such a great card. Our next card is from Alora Weaver. She did a different color version for the card that she sent on Tuesday, so you'll have to see that. This is a pinwheel card, and it opens up to reveal a sentiment on the inside. We've got all these little pieces with the folded back designer paper, and you fold them all kind of in a box fold to get the look of a pinwheel. So clever. And then it opens up like that with a message on the inside. Our last card from the Great Big Card Swap Double is from Rose Carey. Oh my heavens, so beautiful. We have the 4-square decorative mask here in the background on the inside and the outside, and the paper florist dies to die cut all those beautiful flowers. Little country floral, countryside inn, designer paper on the bottom, and the thank you from the go-to greetings. I love it. Thank you so much, Rose, and to everyone who participated in the Great Big Card Swap. I'll link that up in the video description if you haven't seen it, so you can check it out. But thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you enjoyed all the projects that I shared, please give this video a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future card making videos like Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie this Sunday at noon Central Time. Mom and I will be sharing projects with the new Meandering Meadow Suite, a sneak peek from the online exclusive collection that's coming up on November 7th. And perhaps, maybe, I won't promise, but my plan is to do another live tomorrow to share the projects that are coming in the October bonus project kit. So hopefully I will see you then. Thank you for tuning in. Happy stamping, and I'll see you again soon. Oh my gosh, I gotta go wash my hands. Bye.